Hello everyone. So welcome back to botany class. And in this video, we are going to start new chapter. So biotechnology principles and processes, right? And this chapter is concept based one. And here we are going to see, we are going to study how we are going to manipulate the genome of organism. And it's a very important chapter. And you can expect minimum 2 to 3 questions from this area. For if you want to learn biotechnology, you have to be thorough in principles of inheritance and variation and molecular basis of inheritance in these two chapters, right? Because there we studied about DNA, RNA, proteins, and gene, etc. And this chapter we are going to see further, right? So based on the gene level and the molecular level, so how we are going to manipulate the organism, right? First, I have to define, so what is a biotechnology? Here you can see for the word itself they are given, the two words they are given, bio, another one they are given as technology, right? Biotechnology they are given. So bio means nothing but biology, so living organism. Here the integration of biological science and with other engineering principles, right? And the different scientists, they are given different definition for biotechnology. So it depends on their area where they are working. Some scientists, they may work with plants, some they work with animals, some they work with microorganisms. But there are different, because biotechnology, it's not easy to define. So exactly what is a biotechnology? But here anyway, we have to define the term, right? So biotechnology is nothing but it's a technique, right? It's a technique. It uses living organism. So this particular method or technique uses living organism. Living organism, it may be microorganism, or maybe plants, or maybe animals. In case plants, animal, either the method uses individual cells or tissues or the whole organism also. It's a technique of using living organism or their product. The product what we will get, so mostly the living cells, they produces more number of enzymes. The enzymes are product. By using this living organism or their product like enzymes, you can produce or you can process some product that may be useful for human being. So with the help of this, we are going to produce some product, or we are going to process the raw material into product that may be useful for human, not only human, even useful for other organism, even useful for environment also. So this technique we are calling as biotechnology. And we are having question, what is the product? What is the process? Product, like you see, the antibiotic production with the help of organism, because the microbe itself, they produce that product. And to take example, alcoholic the production. So we studied microbes in developer. There, with the help of this microorganism, we are converting the sugar into alcohol. So the organism used to convert the raw material, sugar, into alcohol. That is the organism may be used to process, process the product, and also used to synthesis product also. So that's why we are calling that technique name is called biotechnology. Okay, you see, technique of using living organism or their enzyme for product and process useful to human, not only human, and other organism and also environment. That method we are calling as biotechnology, right? So next we see, but the exact definition of biotechnology was given by European Federation of Biotechnology. This association, European Federation of Biotechnology, they proposed one definition to define the term biotechnology. As per European Federation of Biotechnology, they define biotechnology as the integration of natural science and organism, cells, parts thereof, and molecular analogs for product and services. Actually, it's an integration of natural sciences, like a combination of many different scientific fields like biology, physics, chemistry, and engineering sciences, etc. And with the help of this integration, we can use either living organism or cells, their product and their molecular analogs for production of product, or from that you can get some useful services, right? So there is a definition given by European Federation of Biotechnology. Abbreviated form is EFB. Are you clear with this definition? Right. So next, the biotechnology mainly deal with, actually biotechnology, what area it's employed. The main area here I have listed here. So biotechnology mainly deal with, so the microbe mediated process, like we studied in microbes in human welfare. There are microbes used in household product and industrial product, and for synthesis of and a lot of process like sewage treatment and environmental treatment plant, etc. Like you see, making curd, bread, wine, and synthesis of antibiotic, enzyme, organic acid, and synthesis of single cell protein, etc., etc. That area also comes under biotechnology. Okay, mainly it deals with the major area here I have listed. So first deal with microbe mediated process. Second one, in vitro fertilization, nothing but the test tube baby program. Actually, the test tube baby program, actually the in vitro fertilization leading to test tube baby. So that is one of the area comes under biotechnology. And synthesis and using of gene, that also one of the area. So by using this technique, you can artificially synthesis and you can use the gene. And also prepare, it's employed main and mainly deals the area, which area dealing the preparation of DNA vaccine. Preparation of DNA vaccine, and for correcting defective gene. If any one of our gene, one or more genes are defected, that genes may be corrected with or repaired or replaced with the right gene or correct gene. So these areas and all comes under biotechnology. Okay, the main area you can see here, microbes mediated process, in vitro fertilization, nothing but test tube baby program, under synthesis and using of gene, and preparation of the DNA vaccine, and correcting a defective gene, nothing but gene therapy. These areas and all. So there are some broad areas comes under biotechnology, right? And we will see the principles of biotechnology. There are two core techniques of modern biotechnology. So there are two core techniques that enabled birth of modern biotechnology. Previously also, starting from hybridization and grafting, or even after discovery of chromosome and the discovery of the DNA molecule, so the biotechnology techniques are started. But now we are in modern biotechnology area. There are two important core techniques that enabled birth of the modern biotechnology. What are the techniques now? One is genetic engineering and second one is bioprocess engineering. So genetic engineering, or you can say bioprocess engineering. The genetic engineering is, what is that genetic engineering? Here the gene level, we are going to engineer the organism at genome level, the DNA level or gene level. That area we can call it as genetic engineering. Genetic engineering is nothing but technique in which the genetic material, either DNA or RNA, chemically it's altered and it's introduced into the host organism to change its phenotype, right? Actually, the naturally some organisms are there. That organism genotype may be altered chemically, either by introducing new gene from the different organism, or by change the already existing genes. Some genes may be there that maybe you can delete it. by deleting already existing genes also, so that that organism phenotype also will changes. The characteristics of organism also will changes. That area we are calling as genetic engineering. So simple term you can say, so the genetic sequence of the genetic characteristics of organism may be altered either by introduction of new genes or deletion of already existing gene in that particular organism. That area we are saying that genetic engineering, right? So next, bioprocess engineering. Suppose if we are producing some organism, genetically modified organism, for growth of that particular organism, we have to provide sterile condition, the sterile environment. For that, there is an area, the maintenance of sterile ambient chemical engineering process for growth of desired microbe or eukaryotic cells in large quantity for manufacturing of the product which are useful for human, like antibiotic, vaccine, enzyme. So that area comes under bioprocess engineering. And what are the methods and what are the technique available to create or to maintain the sterile ambience in that particular chemical process? That area comes under bioprocess engineering, right? So with help of these two core techniques only, so actually we are doing the biotechnology. So actually we are manipulating the genome of organism, and once manipulated, the organism successfully used to produce or process the raw material into useful product. Okay, that may be useful for human and also other organism. Okay, so first one is genetic engineering. Another method is maintenance of. What are the methods and technique how we are going to maintain the aseptic condition, the micro-free environment for the growth of genetically manipulated organism. That area comes under bioprocess engineering, right? So next, the principles of biotechnology. And before going to before entering into the topic, we will see actually what is the basic steps in genetically modified organism. How we are going to modify. And there are three basic steps in genetically modifying an organism. Just I want to, because one wild type is there, one microbe or plant or maybe animal. Just I want to modify the genome of the particular organism or genetic sequence of that particular organism, and what are the basic steps are involved. So here I have listed three basic steps. Actually, there are three basic steps in genetically in modification of an organism, right? First one is identification of DNA with desired gene. That is the first one. So just I want to introduce one gene into the E. coli, one desired gene. First I have to identify the gene is found in which organism. That is the first very beginning step or basic step in the biotechnology. So identification of DNA with the desired genes. Next, once identified, and then you have to isolate and you have to keep that gene. Next, you have to introduce this identified DNA into the desired host. Just you see, I'm isolating one protein encoding gene from human. I want to transfer this protein encoding gene into E. coli, and I want to produce that human protein using E. coli organism. So here E. coli treated as a host. So just I'm isolating that protein encoding gene from the human, and then I'm introducing that gene into the host. That is the next step. And once introduced, successfully we manipulated the host, nothing but E. coli. And then we got to provide sterile condition, the maintenance of introduced DNA in the host and transfer of DNA in progeny. That is a very, very important one, right? So one organism I manipulated. It's not possible to do every generation. When that organism, the host, whatever modified, when it reproducing, it must or it should transfer that modified gene also, and also they have to transfer into it progeny organism. That is the main method. Whether transferring or not, we got to verify. If transfer only, that cloning process is successful. Okay. So these are the basic steps of biotechnology, right? Identification of DNA with a desired gene, introduction of identified DNA into the host, and maintenance of introduced DNA in host and transfer of DNA in progeny, right? And first step, okay, the identification of DNA with the desired gene. And that for modifying organism, we are having traditional or classical biotechnology as well as modern biotechnology. The traditional hybridization, that method is traditional hybridization. You can combine two or more organisms and produce the new recombinant type. But in traditional hybridization, I think we studied in the strategy for enhancement food resources. There we did plant breeding program, right? The traditional hybridization technique leads to inclusion and multiplication of not only desired gene and also undesired genes also. When we are combining two or more organisms, their genetic map together, so it will not combine only desired gene or the gene which is required, and also undesired also required. But genetic engineering method, only desired genes are introduced. But the very beginning step is identification of DNA with the desired gene. So we got to find out and what gene we got to transfer into host. But that gene you have to find out where it found and which organism they are having, and you can identify. And from there you can isolate. By isolating DNA, we are having some procedure we are going to discuss in coming topic. So how we are going to identify, how we are going to isolate the particular gene alone. So the basic step in the creation of the recombinant organism is identification of DNA with the desired genes, right? So once we identify it, and then you can isolate and keep. Next, further we have to proceed. Next, what we have to do now, the introduction of identified DNA into the host. Like for introduction of that particular DNA, we need some carrier molecule for carrier. Here carrier we are calling as vector DNA. So mostly which DNA we will use as a vector? Na plasmid. Actually plasmid is used as a vector DNA to deliver the gene of interest into the prokaryote, mostly bacteria, to deliver the alien species of DNA into the host organism. Okay, see here, the bacteria, there are two types of the genetic material are found in bacteria. One is the chromosomal DNA. So chromosomal is double-stranded and linear. And also some bacteria contain, in addition to chromosomal, it contain additionally the double-stranded, self-replicating, autonomous, and circular DNA molecule. This circular DNA molecule, you can call it as plasmid. Okay, you see. So the DNA which responsible heredity is only chromosomal DNA or bacterial DNA only. But plasmid DNA which confirm some other characteristics of, which are responsible for some other characteristics of the organism, like which provide, some plasmid may provide antibiotic resistance, some plasmid may provide the toxicity resistance and the pathogenicity, etc. So like, but only prokaryote and some eukaryote, they are having this additional the DNA elements. These additional DNA elements, you can call it as plasmid. So plasmids are nothing but it's extra chromosomal. In addition to chromosomal, extra chromosomal, double-stranded, circular, autonomously replicating DNA molecule. That molecule you can call it as plasmid. And how many copies of plasmids present? Maybe one copy or maybe few number, 1 to few, 10. Some cells may contain hundreds also, right? So this is a plasmid. So in cloning experiment, in a genetical, if you want to modify the genome of bacteria, that time the most suitable vector DNA is plasmid. With the help of this plasmid, you can transfer our gene of interest into the desired host. Okay, like you see here, this is a plasmid. The red color is our gene of interest. So in plasmid, our gene of interest is inserted, and after that you can call it as recombinant. And this recombinant plasmid is transferred to the E. coli. Here E. coli is a host. So host is nothing but it's an organism where we are going to transfer or where we are going to manipulate the genome. That organism we can call it as host. And this recombinant DNA is transferred to this particular host. Now this cell E. coli cell, you can call it as they are recombinant E. coli, right? They are called as recombinant, or you can call it as transformed. Okay, after uptaking DNA from the foreign source, the cells are become transformed. Are you clear with this? So like this, we are transferring. For transferring that, we have to use the vector. Vector nothing but it's a carrier DNA molecule. The carrier DNA molecule is the mostly which one acts as a plasmid. Plasmid on the used to deliver alien, nothing but the DNA from the other or gene from the other organism into the desired host, right? This is second step. So once we transferred, it's a successful. Then the maintenance of introduced DNA into the host, and transfer of DNA to its progeny also. That is a very, very important one. So now the piece of alien DNA has no sequence called origin of replication. So because when the cell replicate, so we know that in replication we study the process will begin at specific point of the DNA. The specific point we are calling as origin of replication. When we are creating this recombinant DNA, we are inserting our gene of interest here and we are creating the recombinant DNA. That time the DNA we got to insert and ligate the DNA into plasmid with a suitable origin of replication. Then only they can multiply. But if the piece of that alien DNA has no sequence called origin of replication needed for starting of replication, so it cannot multiply itself in progeny cells. So that what we have to do now, when we are transferring, when we are creating recombinant DNA, that the foreign DNA or alien DNA is integrated into recipient genome. So because recipient genome, it has origin of replication and it multiply integrate along with the host. Okay, see here, the red I told, red is our gene. But when we are inserting in this plasmid here, origin of replication is there. When these the origin of replication start to replicate along with the host DNA, our gene also replicated. Then it's a distributed equally to the progeny organism. Okay, so that it multiply and integrates along with the host DNA to the progeny organism. That is the main thing. If not multiplying, then whatever the transformation we did is it's a failed one. It's treated as a failed one, right? And the principles of biotechnology. Here we are going to see some how the what is the beginning areas, the historical events in the that enable the birth of biotechnology. The process of joining and inserting foreign species of DNA into host organism to produce new genetic combination. That is, you can call it as recombinant DNA technology, or you simply can say it genetic engineering also. Just we are taking DNA from one organism and we are joining with the vector DNA and we are transferring this DNA into the host to produce new genetic combination. That method we can call it as recombinant DNA. The first recombinant DNA, the abbreviated form is rDNA, was produced by Stanley Hogan and Herbert Boyer in 1972, who has constructed first successful recombinant DNA. Stanley Hogan and Herbert Boyer, 1972, and they isolated an antibiotic resistant gene. So antibiotic resistant gene from plasmid Salmonella typhimurium from this bacteria, because this bacteria naturally the plasmid DNA contain antibiotic resistant genes, and then they isolated this gene and it was linked with the plasmid vector and transferred to E. coli. So naturally E. coli organisms they are antibiotic sensitive, not resistant. So that they are isolating that antibiotic resistant genes from the Salmonella, and with the help of plasmid vector, they are transferred to E. coli. As a result, the gene was expressed and multiplied in E. coli, and these genetically recombinant E. coli which so resistant to antibiotic, Who has created the first recombinant DNA? Stanley Hogan and Herbert Boyer in 1972, right? And next we are going to start with the tools of recombinant DNA technology. Here, like we are going to manipulate the genome of an organism, right? Maybe we are going to introduce new gene, or we are going to remove already existing gene. Like if you want to repair some instrument or some mechanical part, we need some tools, spanner, screwdriver, like that. But here what we are going to do now, we are going to manipulate the DNA or gene sequence of organism. For manipulating that, we need some tools, molecular tools. Tools now, don't imagine that as spanner and screwdriver. Here we need some molecular tools. And what are the tools we are having to manipulate the genome of organism or to create recombinant organism? So three important tools are there. One is a restriction enzyme. So the restriction enzyme, also called as molecular scissor or molecular knives also. The enzyme used to cut the DNA at specific region. So if you are having lengthy DNA, if you want to convert this DNA into fragment, or you want to make cut at specific region, for that we are having one enzyme. The enzyme name is called restriction enzyme or restriction endonuclease. Abbreviated form is RE. This restriction enzyme also we can call it as molecular scissor. Also we can call it as molecular scissor. And next we are having, what are the tools we are having? Cloning vectors. Because we are isolating gene from the one organism, we got to transfer this gene into the other organism. For transfer of the gene, we need the carrier DNA. The carrier DNA we are calling as cloning vector. Cloning vector. So most commonly used cloning vectors are plasmid. And we are going to see, so what are the different type of cloning vector available for cloning in bacteria? It's nothing but prokaryote and plants and animals. And next one is competent host. Host is nothing but where we are going to clone and which organism, because we are isolating gene from some organism, where we are going to clone or where we are going to modify, in which organism we are going to modify. So that particular organism we are saying that competent host. Maybe the competent host either may be microorganism or maybe plants or maybe animals. Is anything where we are going to clone, that one you can call it as competent host. So mostly for expression of protein, they will use bacteria as a host. Sometimes they are creating genetically modified plants also. There's a transgenic crops which provide resistancy or yield for that and all. And sometimes they are creating transgenic animals also. So which organism, where we are going to transfer that foreign or alien piece of DNA, that organism we can call it as host, the desired host, right? So the tools of genetic engineering, only three important tools we are having to manipulate and to create recombinant organism. So one is a restriction enzyme, cloning vector, and competent host. I hope that up to this you will understood. And in coming video we'll continue further. We'll see what are the restriction enzymes are available, what are the different type of cloning vectors available, and a competent host, what is the characteristics of the particular host, right? So up to this, I will end up this video and we'll continue in next video, right? Thank you.